Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to be here today, and it's so nice to see all of you out. My name is Erin Brockovich, and I'm not Julia Roberts. That's my joke now. Oftentimes people wonder how it is I get involved in situations like this, and I have to tell you 10 times out of 10, it will begin because either one mom or several moms ultimately get a hold of me. The first person that reached out to me is from your community, Sarah Sargent, and I see you sitting over there. She's the one that, got my little radar up. And of course, we have Natasha and Alicia.
Can you speak into the mic?
Oh, can you hear me now? I usually can speak loud enough, I don't need a mic, but I'll keep it near me. So, and then Natasha and Letitia, you've obviously met. Is that better?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it in my hand.
Barbra Streisand.
Who? Barbra Streisand? You don't want to hear me sing, right? That's not good. So, anyway, it is a group of moms. And I have to tell you, it's something that is happening across the nation. They are going to stand up. They are going to use their voices, and they are going to start watching out for and being the overseers of their welfare and their children's health and safety and their community. So it is their story and your story, and I know we've all given a round of applause, but for me, please do so because you've done a fantastic job. Thanks to Dr. Minch and all of the work that you do. It's wonderful, and we need doctors on our side to hear us and understand what is happening. And it really is difficult to find a good environmental group of doctors in this country, and so I applaud you and I thank you very, very much. They make such a difference. And so this is usually how everything that starts with me actually starts within you and your company and your voices. And it's interesting to be here and observe what's going on, and certainly to even look at the photos and see the pollution and listen to Dr. Minch's comments of all the pollution and how we are attacked, even in the womb and before we're born. But there's something that I have seen that is just as important, if not ultimately the most important thing that is happening. That is the seed that starts all of these problems. In every single community I work in, not only in the United States, but at a global level, it begins with deception. A company that from its inception is not doing the right thing, is not keeping their promise to you that they will be a good neighbor, and information begins to slip away from us, and we don't know what's going on. And it's that very deception that harms the community and jeopardizes our health and welfare. When we don't have information, when we're not aware of what's going on in our own backyard, we begin to feel and are helpless, defenseless, and vulnerable. And what will make the difference in all of this, I'm assuring you, is going to be you. You will make the difference. This is your community, your air, your land, your water, your children, your health and welfare, and you need to use your voices. You are, and you're going to make the necessary change to make your life better. It all will begin with you. I get very concerned, and I'm out here doing this just way too often. But It scares me sometimes, and I've been a part of this as well. When I began my work back out in Hinckley, California, I really thought it was just one situation, that it was really somebody else's problem. But it's really all of our problems, because it's popping up in all of our backyards. And people oftentimes get a false sense of security that an agency has regulations in place and that that agency is going to look after you. And I'm here to tell you, these agencies, and I'm not putting blame on them, but we have to face the facts, more often than not, are absent. They are overburdened, they are understaffed, they are underfunded, and many times they don't know what's going on. But there's not any Superman out there that's going to save you and I. We really have to begin to save ourselves. And that means that we have to get to know our neighbors again. And it's so nice for me when I do my work and I come out and I see communities getting back together again. It will be your voice collectively, an investigation, working with your local agencies, working with doctors to say, we are empowered, we will push back, we will fight back, we have a right to good health, and it will be that collective voice that will make the ultimate change. And your wish of getting Stericycle to pack their bags and move on to a new location or shut them down so you and your children have a cleaner, safer, healthier world to live in. And that's what we have in common. It's a matter of common sense. And that's what I love about my job. And that's what I love about going across this country. Because people have it. You don't necessarily need to be a doctor or a scientist or some big politician to take a look at the photos and take a look at the proximity of this facility to your homes and to your children near schools. We have no business burning biohazard waste on top of people, communities, and children. No. There's a right way to do business, and there's a bad way to do business. This is not good business. And so it's that common sense factor that I want you to always keep with you. I don't want you to think, maybe I shouldn't be looking into this, because I've heard about myself a lot. You're not the scientist, you're not the person that knows. But you do know, in your heart, in your soul, when something is wrong with your family, or something is wrong with your child, and you don't need that PhD to take a look at these photos or stand in your backyard on a given day and realize this hazard should not be falling on your heads. So I encourage you to always work with your heart, with your soul, in your gut, and believe what you are seeing, believe what you are doing, believe in yourself, believe in your community, because that is how we will continue to march forward. So don't let anybody ever sway you away from what it is you see and what it is that you know is wrong. I won't stay up here and talk too long, but I do want to share with you, you're not alone. And I wish today that before I got in here, I thought about putting my link up of what it is that I see happening at a very large scale. And you aren't alone. This problem with Stericycle and many other companies is becoming way too common. I have mothers from across America reaching out to me. I'm a very visual person. And so to see the big picture, I started to plot the communities, the mothers that were coming to me, reporting. We live on a Superfund site. We have contaminated water. We have air pollution. We have too many children or people sick with disease and cancer. So I started to plot it on my map. That map started about 2 years ago. Today, I have over 5,000 communities in the United States alone reporting to me similar issues just as you have. 5,000. We have 3 people a day uploading incoming and new information to the point where honestly, we cannot see 3/4 of the United States. What is that saying? We have a problem. There is the potential, I think we all know it, but we just don't want to say it, that pollution and the destruction of our environment, our air, our land, and our water does have a direct impact and will be the demise of us as humans. We rely on each other. One cannot live without the other. And we have to start taking a look as communities, as a nation, as companies. We have to change our mindset. We have to realign our priorities, and lining your pocketbook over the health and welfare of families is not the right way for us to do business anymore. We have to stop. And how that's going to happen is it begins here today. It begins with you. And I do want to encourage you, at any time, you can come to my website, and on this map, we are still short of one of the platforms. It's still somewhat under construction. But you in this community can report what's happening to you. You can give us your name, you can stay anonymous. But please report, because oftentimes people move away from communities, and they may be suffering as well, but we don't know it. So we need to find each other again. And I'm hoping that you'll come to the map and you'll be able to get on there and provide information so we can begin to help you. You can begin to know more and more information. And the more you know, the stronger you'll be and the more empowered you can be. So I do want to ask a question. And sometimes people are really uncomfortable doing this. We just don't always talk about how it is we're feeling with other people. And what surprises me more often than not is one person will email me, and then 3 and 5 and 10 and 15 and 20, but yet they don't know one and the other has the same problems. So may I ask you, and I hope that you feel that this is a trusting place where you can share information with your neighbors. How many of you have been suffering different types of ailments, whether it be respiratory problems or reoccurring headaches, debilitating things that happen every single day that we don't think may be being caused by something? How many in this room have been experiencing health problems? So it's a pretty good show of hands. I'd say maybe half of you. The rest of you maybe don't want to say anything, and we always respect that. But it's strange to come into a community. I was born and raised in Kansas. And I just have to tell you, there wouldn't be at any time that I could think of that we would come to a community meeting and half the people living near would raise their hands, a facility that could be polluting them, and saying, I'm experiencing problems. So how many of you in this room may have or do know of a neighbor or a friend that's been in this area that's gone away, that has cancer? Raise your hands. 7. Again, it's a pretty good showing of hands. That's the type of information that we need from you that we don't have until we start working together. And oftentimes we don't make the association that something that's in our backyard is causing the problems that we have. And I'm sure Dr. Minch would speak to you about this. I'm not the doctor here, but I've been doing this for 22 years. Oftentimes, chemicals and things that we are exposed to have a latency period, and we do not see the outcome of that pollution or that exposure for 5 to 7 to 10 years. And that's what I'm afraid is happening now. Now, this has been going on long enough and quietly enough. The communities starts to wake up when too many people are starting to become sick. So when you see this, I hope that you all will be able to, again, know you're not alone. Share with your neighbor or someone else, because see, they're in the same boat. I walk in your same shoes too. And for me, talking, being aware, educating yourself, information, learning from your neighbor does nothing but help you and your family and all of us try to figure out what's going on. So I'll kind of end it there, but I am here today to be your support, to be a cheerleader, and to tell you positively, without a shadow of a doubt, you are on the right track. You are doing the right thing. You are being a good neighbor. Keep using your voice. We are going to be with you during this. We're here to help you out, and we'll fight as hard as we can to get that company to go away so you have a better future.